So here we have a man that is about to end up in the old man Mojo Dojo Casa house. He is going to end up with his daughter going no contact. So this woman, the mom, she posted this post in the Two Hot Takes subreddit. She says, "Unbelievable exchange between my daughter and her father after he forgot her birthday." My daughter just turned 14, and her father forgot her birthday. She has a strained relationship with him and has lived solely with me for the past 1.5 years. She has only seen her dad a handful of times in that time frame. He makes no effort to reach out to her, attend her school functions, or participate in her life. A little background. Her father and I split about 5 years ago. My ex and I have shared custody of our daughter, who's 14, and our son, who's 12. I am recently engaged to my partner of 4.5 years. My ex is dating his new girlfriend of about 1.5 years, and their son turns 1 in a few months. My daughter came to me around 9 p.m. the evening of her birthday. She said that her dad hadn't texted her to wish a happy birthday until after their family group chat went off with birthday wishes from other family members. She believes that he forgot about her birthday and was only reminded to send her a birthday wish after he saw their group chat. The next day, she shows me a post on her dad's Facebook page showing that on her birthday, he and his girlfriend gifted their son a large toy as an early birthday present for him. She was extremely upset and said she felt like he was showing preference for his new family and didn't love or care for her anymore. She decides to text him and tell him how she feels and that she was upset that he forgot her birthday and didn't get her a gift or a card. Here are a few screenshots from their exchange. Names redacted for privacy. My heart breaks for her, and I feel so much outrage for how he treats her. Has anyone had similar experiences or advice on how to help her navigate this? Their relationship has been bad, but I never thought it would get so bad to the point she would want to cut ties. So the mom doesn't show the text that the daughter sent, but remember, she's just upset that dad has a new family and he is prioritizing his new child. So here's the dad talking in response. "I love you and that won't ever change. I haven't made as much of an effort as I should have, and for that I'm sorry. I miss hanging out and you being a part of my life and me being a part of your life. I'm not trying to manipulate or guilt trip you. Part of the reason I let you make your own decisions and I try not to bother you, but you have to also recognize that you haven't made much of an effort either. Have you texted me or called me at all? Have you told me about stuff you did or stuff you like? Relationships take both parties communicating and working together. I've invested so much of myself into others and got burned. At some point, it becomes damaging to myself to continue to put effort into something when the other party refuses to contribute to the relationship. I hope it doesn't come to that point with us. Girlfriend didn't ruin anything. No one outside of you and I can control what happens with our relationship." All right, so remember, he's the one that forgot her birthday. She's upset about that, and this is how he responds. I think this is a continuation, but she must have left some things off. But here he says, "None of that is your fault. I accept those challenges and my mistakes. I was wrong for not making you more of a priority, and I will change that if you give me the chance. I've never claimed to be perfect. I'm far from it, but I'm always trying to improve. I can't do it alone. If we want to repair and improve our relationship, it takes both of us being willing to admit mistakes and fix issues we have. I didn't forget your birthday, but I did forget to order your things in time for them to get here on your birthday and couldn't find some of the things I wanted to print for you and get for you. I'm not making excuses. I was wrong and I failed. I'm sorry. I love you." It sounds like he's making excuses. I am like 100% sure that her birthday comes on the same date each year. So the fact that he forgot to order something to be on time is just a bunch of malarkey. The way the mom took the screenshot of this next response, we can't see the whole thing. I can see right here. It says, "When I came and saw you last time, your eyes never came off your computer. You failed at your one job, and that's loving and caring about me. I don't want to have a relationship with you anymore. I don't want to talk to you. That part, I do understand. That she was very clear in that statement. I don't want to have a relationship with you anymore. I don't want to talk to you. Remember, she's upset because of her birthday and he forgot. This response is DARVO in action. DARVO is a manipulation tactic that stands for deny, attack, reverse victim offender. She brought something up to him that was important to her, and now he is about to become the victim. Listen to this response. He says, wow, no accountability for your own actions and always playing the victim and blaming everyone else. Your mom taught you well. If that's what you want, I won't bother you then. But this isn't only on me. You're the one coping out and running away, just like you've always done. Abandoned me when I needed you most. This girl just turned 14, y'all. He's saying that she abandoned him. Thanks. You can't ever be bothered to show any freaking effort, but it's always my fault. Got it. You'll regret it someday when you grow up and realize you threw away a relationship you could had and have tried to help fix with your dad. Hope it's worth it to you. The way he's talking to her, it sounds like he is talking to an adult woman. Like, why is he talking about a relationship that she threw away and she is the child in this situation? The 14-year-old, the daughter, says, see how fast you switched up? This is what I'm talking about. I don't need you. I have mom's boyfriend. He's more of a father figure than you will ever be. And to that he says, you don't know what you're talking about. You're talking in circles. Again, dodging accountability and always blaming someone else. I didn't switch up. I'm just realizing that you're never going to change either. I'm done asking you to call or text and show effort. If you didn't need me, you wouldn't have asked or threw a fit because I wasn't calling and texting. You can pretend mom's boyfriend is a father figure, but he'll never be your dad. You had one and you threw it away for your own ego and pride. Again, I hope it was worth it. I tried and you wouldn't show any effort in return. Darvo, he is now the victim. He's really expecting this daughter to own up to her mistakes, and he's the only one that has made a mistake so far in this exchange. And he has ladled so much blame on her. I'm glad that this girl has her mother to lean on and now the mother's boyfriend. I really do hope that the mother's boyfriend is providing whatever she needs that dad is not currently providing. Benny Bug says, he says she always abandons him. A child never abandons a parent. A child lives their own life, especially a teenager. A parent who thinks that is some sort of abandonment is an immature piece of One day he will realize he threw away a relationship he could have had with his daughter, and she will be doing just fine because she wasn't emotionally stunted by this loser. Biology doesn't automatically make someone a parent. Chrissy says, hey, he invests so much of himself into others and always gets burned. What? Tink Tink says, the classic, the phone works both ways kind of parent. Old Check says, right, and in this case to a literal child. I hope she heals from this and that her mom's boyfriend is the father she needs and deserves. I know exactly how this feels when your father forgets your birthday and then plays this manipulative game of, if you don't reach out, neither will I. The Grok says, right? I was reading the text thinking the daughter was well into adulthood and then, wow, she's 14. Her dad is the worst. Buffy Patrol's Bonnaroo says, him saying she abandoned him almost made me throw my laptop across the room. And here is a video of someone throwing a computer across the room. Super Lois says he won't realize. He'll convince himself that this is parental alienation syndrome and his daughter was turned against him, despite him being a loving, available father. This type never takes the blame for any of the consequences of their own actions. Here's the OP saying, ding, 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 you are correct. I have been accused of parental alienation by him, despite the fact that she reaches out to him at my request, sees him because I asked her to, and spent Christmas with him this past year because I made her, not because she wanted to. I don't want her to have a strained relationship with him, and I've done everything I can to help, but he just keeps digging his grave further and further. This is probably the final straw. This child will go no contact with his dad. This relationship is over. It's Saturday. Many people might not be at work. It's the day before Easter, but I am still going to go ahead and say NSFW, not safe for work, and put on your headphones if you got kids around. So, yeah, and she says this NSFW because listen to this opening title. Am I the a-hole for wanting to divorce my husband for his D not working? Not a very long post, but let's go ahead and get into it. All right, here we go. Hey, so I'm 33 and my husband is 36. We have been married for 3 years and together for 4. My husband has often struggled with not being able to keep his D hard or keep himself from reaching the pinnacle in under 5 minutes. We have talked, gone to marriage counseling, tried new things in bed, numbing sprays. He even once said it was because of me and how I talked to him. I have tried and tried to be understanding, but your girl needs attention. Anyways, during a move, I was going through the bathroom boxes and came across a prescription for Viagra. Brought it to my husband's attention and come to find out he was diagnosed with ED way before we met. I am so mad that he kept that from me and then had me going through all the steps to try and help and even being blamed for his issues. I get it. It's a sensitive topic, but being lied to like this really has my mind going. I also found out that he had a house repossessed, and I only found out because the lender saw it and informed me. And when I brought that up to my husband, and he told me that he didn't think it was necessary. What else is this man hiding? Am I wrong for wanting to divorce him? Number one, she is not simply divorcing him because of his D not working. She is going to divorce him because he is a liar. And then not only is he a liar, he is a blame shifter. He is blaming her for his issues. Y'all, he's 36. They've been together for 4 years, so 32 years old. So he has had ED since like early 30s. That is not normal. That is some kind of health issue that he is not addressing. So what else is he hiding that she is going to bump up against later on? Because that is a telltale sign. The canary in the canary in the mine, that something else is wrong, like with the blood supply, blood flow, or something else, heart issues. So she does need to run, but also, so he's not healthy physically and he's not healthy financially. He's not healthy mentally or emotionally because he's not telling her things. This is not a healthy relationship or a healthy start. She's already stressed. Now she's getting frustrated, and I'm sure she is going to get resentful and bitter, which those are valid ways of being, considering he lied to her face and lied by omission by not telling her his financial situation. Jeeb Rule says, whoa, wait, way to bury the damn lead. I'm sorry, he hid having a house repossessed. So you have a dishonest man who won't solve his own problems, not the a-hole for leaving him, but it doesn't sound like it's just because he sucks in bed. And then Artie Woman says, many women end up in horrendous debt caused by their husbands. There's even a term for it, sexually transmitted debt. I have never heard anyone use that term. She says, I would run a mile from any partner who not only had their house repossessed, but also didn't tell you. She continues with, I recently ended an engagement to a guy I love very much. There were several reasons why, but one of them was that he was lousy with money. In our 60s, I was unable to put myself in a position where I might lose my home. Makes total sense. I am glad that this woman knew and understood and had a sense of self-preservation. Lomputer says, misleading title, you're divorcing him for being an effing liar, minus the good part. We got Flame of Tato saying an uneffing liar, more like. I'm not sure what this person's name is, but he gives her an angry upvote. Fat Kitty says, girl, you buried the headline here. It's not that his little man isn't working, it's that he has a history of lying to you. Let's recap here. He knew that he had ED before he met you, didn't talk to you about it, but then went a step further and actually blamed you for it. Then he had a home in foreclosure and never talked to you about that either. How long did you date before you married him? Did you talk about finances before you married? This would have been good information to have before you decided to get married and share finances and credit. I would have a serious talk about what other information he has not shared and demand to know what's going on. If you feel the trust is gone and there's no way to come back from this, then it may be time to part ways. I would also say that to him too, this is a result of his doing, not yours, not the a-hole. International Age says, you only knew each other for a year before getting married. Was the sex amazing at one point? And to that, the OP says, once in a while, it was great. We have Playful Score saying, he should have told you, yeah, sexual frustration sucks, but toys, tongue, and fingers are also something he could use to satisfy you if he wanted to. It's not just about sex. It's about broken trust and blaming each other. Edit to add, my husband also struggles, but it wouldn't cross my mind to divorce him. Also, a lot of men find it difficult to stay hard after their 30s. So this person is making it about just the sex. No, it's not just that. It's about him lying to her about anything. So she didn't have the full information to make an informed decision. That's the reason why he sucks. This person, Playful Score, is bringing her relationship into this post, and it's not the same. Do not open this account says, did you not had sex before getting married? Paul Russ was dead says, they did not had. Okay, I did not mess that sentence up. I read it the way he typed it. The OP says, yes, it's always been an issue. And then do not open this account says, why did you marry him in the first place if that has always been the issue? And then she says, I thought it was something we could work through. I know things are not going to be perfect. And then Plain Reputation says, how many years of limp D made you believe he would eventually not have limp D? Regardless, the limp D is an issue, but the lying, I think, is the bigger issue. I'm going to end it there. I didn't talk about all of the people, just bringing in the different ways he can make things work, because he can't erase the fact or work through the different ways of doing things if he's a liar. You need to leave liars alone. People that hide things simply to get their hooks in you and then let you find out things on their own are people that shouldn't be in a relationship. She needs to divorce this man, but I do want y'all to chime in. Listen to this title. Am I overreacting to my boyfriend nickel and diming me while he spends thousands on his hobbies? So she's getting nickel and dimed. He has money because obviously he has thousands to spend on hobbies. Before I start with this post, I want to skip to the bottom. This very last paragraph. This situation feels wrong to me, but I'm 12 years younger than him and he is 33. So I'm not totally sure if I'm being materialistic or immature or something. I never asked him to buy me anything other than cheap food items and groceries we share. Am I overreacting? So he's 33. He's 12 years older than her. So she is 21 years old. Keep that in mind as I read the story. My boyfriend and I live together and have been together for a while. Most aspects of our relationship are good. He is very affectionate and loving, and we have a lot in common. However, for the past 5 months, he has been so stingy with me. In the beginning of us knowing each other, he told me that he was traditional and that if we ever lived together, I would not have to work or pay my bills and that he'd want to provide for me. Eventually, I moved in with him in Mississippi, 10 hours away from where I used to live in Ohio. Recently, he has randomly stopped giving me money and asked me for money instead. I don't have a car and cannot get a job because of that. We live in a very rural area and there are no buses or anything. I recently got back into making money online and I make $40 to $70 some days, but it's not really consistent like that. My bills are only $350 every month, so this is a relatively good income. My boyfriend makes a ton more money than I do and always has since we started dating. He used to make roughly $2,000 a week, and now it's probably closer to $1,000, which is still a lot as our rent is only $600. Since I started making a measly amount of money online, seems more persistent about me paying him back. Like he could buy something for me totaling $7 and hold it over my head whenever I call him stingy. He is so cheap with me, but has a hobby of mattresses and pillows. He has spent at least $3,000 on this the past few months. He spent $1,200 buying different foams and springs to build a custom mattress while we only had $1,000. While we had a $1,000 one upstairs already. The other day, he spent $300 on more pillows to try. He invests thousands in crypto and meme coins and has a lot of money in savings. Before this mattress hobby, it was buying skateboards of different types, which he spent more than $500 in total. He never rides them. Before this, it was watches, which he spent $12,000 on in a month. But he still thinks it's perfectly valid that I pay him back for a $5 or $20 item. He's so generous with his mom and dad and sends them money and bought them a whole mattress and expensive pillows, but I don't receive any of this generosity since I have to pay him back for everything. The last time I asked him about this, he told me that I am unpleasant and that if he had a pleasant and sweet girlfriend, that he would want to give me money and not take my money. I have been depressed recently from the stress of my bills and being lonely, far away from my family. He does not have sympathy for this and instead compares me to girls in other couples, saying they look so happy to be with their boyfriend. I'm very depressed, but I maintain a good mood or just mask it most of the time so he doesn't get mad. This situation feels wrong to me, but I'm 12 years younger than him and he is 33, so I'm not totally sure if I'm being materialistic or immature or something. I never ask him to buy me anything other than cheap food items and groceries we share. Am I overreacting? This girl is underreacting. So there are so many issues with this. He got her to move out of her comfort zone and away from her support system, hours away. She does not have reliable transportation. She does not make enough money to escape. He has her basically in this jail of sorts. She needs to figure out how to get home. There is a power imbalance because of the age situation. She's doubting herself because she's so much younger than him. And on top of that, there is the financial imbalance, which creates another power dynamic. This is a terrible situation. This is the reason why I cannot stand these age gap situations. He did just enough to get his hooks in her. He got her isolated and now he could do whatever he wants. He could treat her however he wants. This is the reason why we sound the alarms with this type of crap. This is the reason why we continue to say, do not give your 20s to a man, just don't do it, because this could happen. It absolutely does happen. And this is the reason why these older men target these naive younger women, because they don't know any better. Please continue to talk to your daughters, your younger sisters, your cousins, your aunties even, your grannies even. Talk to the barista up the street. Share these conversations with other women so that they can try to avoid these things. Stop giving their 20s to a man. Get themselves together and know and understand how these people operate, because the things that they do are very, very similar. It's like the same type of thing. They have the same talking points in how they isolate, how they control with money, how they get their hooks in someone younger and do it quickly so that they can escape. Please continue to have these conversations and share these types of posts with other people. Babylon Nuit says, not overreacting, older man taking advantage of a much younger woman. He's lost interest in you. You had best start saving your money to move back home, because this situation is bound to implode sooner rather than later. You have been played for a fool. Better start getting a clue and get yourself out before he gives you the heave-ho. And that's who tagged me in, Babylon Wheat. We got Barracuda No saying, you still have time to come home to Ohio. This state never judges. I don't know what you expected the 33-year-old to be, but he's definitely not Prince Charming. For future reference, never let a guy become your sole financial support. Never. Honestly, reread what you wrote and do none of that again. I'd show this to young people everywhere as a perfect example of what not to do. Said with love, but seriously, get out if you can. Capable Subject says, they're right, pack your bags and go home. Who needs someone like that? At the bottom, Honduran says, people online glorify the sugar daddy or sugar mama, but the power imbalance is it inevitably creates, just ruins the enjoyment and freedom of a relationship. Fawning and Conning says, laughing my butt off, you moved in with a 33-year-old man as a 21-year-old. Get the F out of there as fast as you can. You'll look back on this in a few years and wonder why you were ever there. This man is going to kick you out when you get too old for him. Groggy Crumble says, for real, sounds like all the women around his age can see how BS this behavior is for his age and don't want to be with him. Men like this tend to go for younger women due to their innocent and understanding/empathy. So here's the OP responding. He said once all his exes were more pleasant to be around than me. He cheated on most of them, which I only found out a little while ago. Like, if they were so great, why did you feel the need to cheat at all? Because this dude is a liar and he's saying whatever he wants. And hopefully, now that she knows that he is a cheater, hopefully this is also the impetus for her to get out and get away from him extra quickly. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I'm looking through the comments. It's not that many, it's 200, but so many of them are just simply telling her to run. Y'all already see what I said. I want to know what you think. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Continue to talk to women, girls, everybody, so that they can try to avoid these imbalanced power dynamics, because this is not healthy.
So I keep noticing something when I go out, and it's starting to feel a little loud. So I'll go sit at the bar, right? Minding my own business. And I look around and I realize it's a whole row of women who look just like me. Mid-40s, black, put together. And a lot of them are there by themselves. Now, let me be clear. I don't know these women. They could very well have partners at home, plans later, whole lives I know nothing about. But I also know what I'm looking at. It's dinner time. They're dressed, looking fine. They're settled. This isn't a quick run out. This is intentional. And the energy, that's the part you can't fake. Nobody looks like they're waiting. You know what I mean? Nobody looks like something is missing. Nobody looks like the night needs to turn into something else to feel complete. And I had this moment where I just sat back like, oh, this isn't random. Because here's the part people don't like to say out loud. Women don't need men anymore. Uh-oh. And before this turns into a whole thing in the comments, that's not me trying to be disrespectful. It's just reality. There was a time we needed men to survive, for housing, money. Like, we couldn't have our own bank accounts, access. That's just not the case anymore. So now something else is happening. We're getting educated. And a lot of women aren't sitting there alone because they have no options. They're sitting there because they have standards. And once your life actually feels good, peaceful, stable, yours, you're not about to disrupt that just to say you got somebody. And I'm not saying these women don't want love. That's not what this feels like. This feels like I'm not accepting misalignment just to avoid being alone. And that's different. And I don't even think we fully caught up to what that shift means yet, because it's not loud. It's not announced. It just looks like a woman at the bar enjoying her meal, completely fine in her own company. And if you felt that shift in yourself, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. But tell me, are y'all seeing this too when you go out, or am I crazy?